my name is Denise Walsh, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to share with you bits and pieces of a personal story of when I hit rock bottom, and then what I did to climb out of it, release those emotions, and really create a life of my dreams. Now, there's lots of pieces to this story, right? So we're not going to get into the nitty-gritties of everything, but I think that by me sharing my experience, you might be able to relate with some of it and add it to your own life as well. But before I jump right in, I'd love for you to subscribe and click that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. Now, this story is in the Dream Life Workbook, which is coming out sometime in my life. It's been over a year in progress, figuring things out, writing, doing research, working with designers, learning the process of how to publish a book that's more than just a book, you know? So I'm creating e-courses and the Dreamcast and all of these supporting materials, and I'm so excited. Like, when it launches, you guys, I will seriously cry because it's been so exciting to work on. And it's also been a huge learning curve. Like, I feel like I'm hitting a wall every 2 seconds, and having to learn how to do something new. So I'll have some more cool stories when this is all done, because believe me, I've had to learn, I've had to grow, I've had to bust through my own glass ceiling just in this past year. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about a few years ago when I was hitting my own personal rock bottom. A rut, if you could say. A rut is when you've got these thought patterns or these life patterns that are no longer serving you, but yet it's the default. The default is to be emotionally triggered when this thing happens, or to be consistently thinking about the past and resentful or feeling guilty. You know, it's a pattern, a thought pattern. And I was in this space where I was defaulting to these emotional patterns that were just not helpful anymore. And I'll do future videos on forgiveness and guilt and the emotional processing, because there's a season for owning it. There's a season, you don't want to stuff it, you've got to get it out, bring it to the surface so then you can heal. And there's times for that, and I had to do that too. So you can't necessarily rush the grieving process, but at some point you decide it's not helpful. At some point we have to decide that this no longer is serving me and I need to do something different. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. This is when I entered my war room. Now, I do devotions consistently. I'm journaling consistently. I'm in my reading chair every morning, and I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm doing my personal development, but this war room is a little bit deeper. This is in my closet downstairs in an extra bedroom. It's a walk-in closet, so it has a shelf. I pulled up a chair. I could tape things to the walls. I spent time in this room, certainly grieving and going through some of the emotional stuff. But it was here that I said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done living in that world. I don't want to live there anymore. I'm going to decide what new world I want to live in. And so even though my outside, the physical world, was still a bit chaotic and nothing had changed, I decided that I had to change. So instead of the grieving and those emotional tracks that I had been on, I decided to focus on what I wanted. I decided to get clear on what I wanted. I decided to get clear on my relationships. I decided to get detailed, and then to thank God for all of the things for happening, thank you for X, Y, and Z. Even if I didn't see it yet. Oh, this is tricky, you guys. This is a really tricky thing, because it feels like you're saying, it's not true. You know what I mean? You're like, thank you for being, 130 pounds or whatever, your healthy weight is. Even if you're not that, it can feel like it's not being truthful. But what happened, for me at least, in my war room, is that I made the emotional shift, and I did that emotional shift created a new thought pattern So instead of being triggered down this rabbit trail of fear, guilt, emotion, like annoying stuff, right? I didn't want to be there anymore. I created a new thought pattern. And so even if I didn't see it in my physical reality, that became my default thinking pattern. And I was like, thank you for the rock stars you're bringing into my team. And thank you for the momentum that you're creating. And thank you for all my healthy relationships and friendships. And thank you for bringing people into my life that I need at this exact moment. And, like all of this stuff. And so I decided to live here instead. And in my war room, I spoke it. I could be loud. My kids weren't around. I could talk about it. I could really focus on this new life that I wanted. And a couple things started happening. I ended up doing a bodybuilding competition, which was not on my radar, which helped me do in a lot of different ways, actually. And then I ended up doing the Train the Trainer program with Jack Canfield, which again was like another step that I didn't see on my horizon, but I think came because I was now living in this new space and my eyes were open to these possibilities because I was asking for it and I was thankful for it and I was expecting it. Yeah, it's amazing. And so recently with this workbook, I've been feeling a bit frustrated. Like, oh my gosh, I just want this to happen and it's not happening as fast as I want. Or, my designer took freaking 6 months to design it and now we might end up redesigning it because it's just a bit bigger than I wanted. And actually I do love it. So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but you're just like, this is harder than I thought it would be. So instead of living in the grouchiness of what I wish I would have known this, I wish this didn't happen, all of that, I'm going back to my war room and I'm saying thank you for the successful launch of the Dream Life Workbook. Thank you for the lives that are going to be changed. Thank you for, this is when I get emotional, right? Because that's what I want. And so even though I don't see it quite yet, that's where I'm deciding I want to live. That's where I'm deciding I want to live. So when my thoughts go back to how annoying or the roadblocks, I have to decide to speak life into this project, just like I did years ago, because I know that it works and I know that it's going to bless so many people. So, you guys, whatever you're struggling with right now, I challenge you to create your own war room where you go in and yes, you work through the guilt and the emotions of whatever grief you're experiencing, but then you decide to live in a different space and you decide to declare out and to get clear and to talk like it's already happening and live in this new world, because that is how the new world will come to fruition. That's how. It won't come to fruition if you're here. It just can't. So now I'm saying thank you for the people coming into my path that are going to help make this such a fun project and successful and easier, and for the people to partner with me that know what they're doing, that can, you know what I mean? I'm just speaking this because that's what I really want. And, I don't know where you're at, but I know that a war room, a space for you to really declare, speak out loud, and decide this new world for yourself will change your world. So, I hope that this was helpful. And if you want more of these types of resources, check out my podcast called Dreamcast, where I have some really cool, informational, and inspiring interviews, as well as some solo episodes. And then I also have a really cool freebie for you, actually several freebies. Go to my website, denisewalsh.com, and put your information in for the free Dream Life Design Map, and then you're going to get a few extra freebies as well, including one whole chapter from the workbook. So I am excited to hear what you think about that. Don't forget to subscribe because I plan to be here again tomorrow. Have an awesome day.